from the makers of Motown Mafia. Beyond the headlines, beyond the crime, beyond the glamours and gold, they don't run around the streets. They run the streets. Beyond Street Dreams. Documentary coming soon to Amazon Prime, Tubi, and Pluto TV.
Yeah, I'm not having a good time though.
He definitely did. He definitely did.
We doing
Definitely
bourgeois hood. We just what we.
So
what do you like?
Oh, he got to go to vegan.
I mean, they got vegan
Yeah,
stuff
can
in
we-
there. Where they got? Don't they got vegan food in most restaurants?
No.
No?
No, vegan restaurants have vegan food.
Okay.
Yeah, but this that other shit. Oh my god. That
Oh,
other
it's
shit.
Apollo.
Yeah,
That's-
and,
wow.
and the mart right there. That's where the mart was at.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe they haven't done anything with that.
Wonder who owns it.
Webb and Booker is the name of the people that they used to own.
Oh,
it.
is that a legal dispensary right there?
Yeah.
Gotham Buds?
I guess so.
Oh, they're
Wow.
doing well.
Hey, that's
We could-
wow.
We might
That's
as well, if we
crazy.
eat around here, we might as well start and do some shit on 125th. So here's the law.
Yep.
Here's my
So
understanding.
I heard they just turned this into. My man just told me they just turned this into a renaissance. That right there, back there.
To a what?
That used to be the Victoria movie theater, and that was the place where we went to the movies. You know, I'm from 10 blocks away, right? So that was the place that at 7 years old, you would walk up here and go to the movies by yourself. You know, like a bunch of 7-year-old, 8-year-olds. Like the 10-year-old was in charge. And we'd all come
Right,
walking
10-year-old. He's the
Yeah.
voice of reason of
Right,
this posse.
right. And we all
Yeah.
come walking up here, whatever, and go in the movie theater. One time we came to see, I seen 5 on the black hand side there, Hot Potato there, Abby,
What was Abby? I've heard it. Was that?
That was
it
the
was a horror
Exorcist.
movie.
Blaxploitation.
Oh, it was a
Abby,
blaxploitation horror
but it was,
movie,
But it was
okay.
a horror movie. Abby, those movies were lost. I don't think those movies made it
Red
into the
Rooster
digital
should
space.
have-
Oh, yes, they did.
No,
No.
It made it
No,
into
Red
Red
VHS
Rooster
for
would have a
sure.
vegan selection. You sure that's a bourgeois place?
No, man. Let me tell you, I've been vegan for 35 years.
Oh, you
I'm
know
not
that.
a.
You're
I'm not a.
You're not new to this? That's what you
Yeah,
think?
not at all. I'm not a like a casual. I am very, very, very strict vegan.
It's a militant.
You
Yes,
ain't.
very, very. I thought Al would have probably told you. I had this
Oh, I
whole.
thought you knew. You
I had
never
this whole
knew.
conversation in my head where Al says, "Oh, the food thing, we're gonna definitely have to like."
Well,
make
no,
some-
because we're in New York,
Yeah,
I figured it wouldn't
you know
be
what I mean?
it's easy. So.
Yeah, it is easier here.
Yeah.
It got a little more difficult
Nice.
because one of my favorite, if not the most favorite, motherfucking vegan restaurant downtown in West Village.
Abby's
it got
available.
closed.
Yeah.
No way! I gotta see that shit. Oh my god, I gotta see Abby.
All those black exploitation movies got big after the 90s.
Yeah, a lot of them shits.
You know, the resurgence.
A lot of them straight. Go straight.
Terry
All
Carter.
right, we going. You know where we going.
Yeah, bro, I'm home.
Okay. I mean, I know you know where you. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking, no, I'm
Yeah, like,
home. I know
you know.
everything.
Oh, Carol
everything is.
Speed played. Okay. That's who Frank Matthews was messing with.
Really?
Who?
Carol Speed.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, Frank was the
I mean, who
motherfucker.
else you gonna? I mean, at that like
Yeah, he
you
was
pretty
the
much mess with
motherfucker.
who you want to.
Yes, indeed.
I would imagine.
Yes, he was the motherfucker for real. Ain't no two ways about that, bro. A phenom, a true phenom. Just imagine if he had gone a different route. So I was watching something recently
going?
where there's a they closed their asses down. That
What's
spot on the corner.
That's where we was going.
It's my
It's
man's
dispensary.
vegan. You can
Netflix
park right
and
up here.
grill.
You
That's
can
funny.
park right here.
Right here. Right.
You gotta pull in though. They'll knock your door off. My man's got a vegan restaurant right here.
Oh.
It used to be at one point it was the first vegan restaurant in Harlem.
Oh yeah, he
It
was.
used to be between Lenox and Fifth, behind the block behind us, and then he put it between Fifth and Madison, and now it's between
Well,
Madison
didn't you take
and
me
Park.
in there?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of.
No, I saw you on Vlad with but they can reaching them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
all the
yeah,
Blow Money Math
yeah,
stars.
yeah.
Yeah. That's this is
Harlem
this is
legends right here.
evolving. This is evolving level.
I
But
hate,
a lot of people do not know who this motherfucker is.
Nah, I'm just.
They got no idea.
But the people who do, also don't know.
The only people that know who he is
People supposed to
are
know.
people who are supposed to know.
Yeah.
If you know who he is, that means you were around in places where people weren't commonly allowed to be around. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember about the old man back home takes you to go, hey, David, come here, let me show you something. It takes you to the little house, and you open the door, and see how these things, it's just like that.
Oh, kilos?
Just like that.
Bricks.
Just like that.
Would you?
No, hell no. That was.
Did you ever come right around this intersection?
Well, we frequented after hours.
Spanish Harlem.
Spanish Harlem, we frequented
Oh,
that.
Spanish Harlem starts where?
Well, shoot, once you cross
Right
Fifth
across-
Avenue, really.
No, right. Once you cross right there, you see that overpass right there. Once you
Yeah.
cross that, that's Spanish Harlem. Once you cross Park,
Because that's the 4, 5, and 6 trains.
well, that's the
down
down
the
there. It's the
park.
one on Lexington. That's the one train. It's the 1 to 4, right?
Right.
The 4, the 1, and no, one is that way.
One
One is that way. It's Broadway.
You
That's
mean
the 4.
four-
That's the
about
4
4,
train.
5, and 6.
I think 4, 5, and 6 on that side,
Right.
right? And not a big train person. That was.
Right.
And
Harlem bourgeois.
Yeah.
You tell you don't know
Yeah.
the trains, that means
Yeah, I
you
don't
don't
know.
drive.
Tell us about that after hours, Mark.
125th, right in Park, second floor, leader
It's like
club.
what, early 90s?
This is literally, yes, 94, 95, because I was still at the Mark. And it was kind of Harlem. I mean, you could go in there, Yale was,
You said you could order Remy Martin.
you could order in Marty and the Graham. The Graham was marked up high, so you might want to know the local, so that you could actually take advantage of Harlem pricing.
real talk.
For real, because you copped at the club, you was getting taxed. But if you knew somebody around
Well,
the
that's
block,
pretty convenient, though.
it was very convenient.
Especially the good. Most of that shit would leave your nose caked up.
Yeah. That's why you had to go around the block to know somebody that he knew. That knew somebody he knew. But safe.
Safe.
I mean, it was whoever were running these places were businessmen.
So without getting into native, I know, but like, like for those at the beginning raided, was there some Italians somewhere up the food, or West Indians, or who would have been behind something like that?
Oh, black guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you remember
With
the
the police-
spot that
with
was
the
at
police
145th and Convent?
I mean,
Oh, you didn't really.
There was a bunch that I didn't know about.
But you didn't need a police connection.
I just remember one night at
Helped.
about 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, my first time as a Detroiter with you wild New Yorkers in Harlem. So we sitting at the table. It's 3:34 in the morning. Back in my life, 22 years clean now. Why I had to get clean. We chopping up some rails, right? Drinking, bras on our laps and shit. 2 Italian boys with ponytails and 2 cops walk in. I'm like, oh fuck, we about to go to jail. Everybody from New York ain't, what's up?
yeah, anybody even looking up?
Nobody even looking up, and I'm like, don't you see the guineas and the police? But they walked in, they walked to the back, saw whoever they saw, walked back out, all the locals.
Did they have a bag?
They did have actually a brown paper bag. Right. And the locals, again, ain't even blinked. Nobody else is.
Nope, it's always been like that.
Yeah, and it was obvious. It's just how this worked, young man.
How many after
My whole
hours?
life was like that. I didn't know it wasn't like that anywhere.
Right.
What was the prevalence of after? Was that after? You were saying that was free. That was your whole lifestyle for a while.
The after hour spot was our world. That's where our world congregated. That's where our world congregated. I know a bunch of people who were in the life heavy, had never been to any club.
But
Only after hour spots.
Yes.
Bump, Ronnie Bump. Didn't do clubs. Had 26 after hour fucking spots there.
he had them.
Yes.
26.
Oh, he had after
26
in
number hole after hour
like
spots.
in Queens or all
In
around?
Queens.
He had 26 after hour spots in Queens. Oh, so after hour spots.
Ronnie Bump shit is crazy.
He had 26.
This
So
shit
for
is
those
crazy.
who you're gonna get into Ronnie Bump supplied Stream Team and Or he
No,
was his own thing. Same era.
He predates them. So that's who Preem and them, shout out to my brother Preem, that's who they wanted to be when they grew up. You know, Furtado Brothers, shout out to my brothers, Furtado Brothers.
26 after. But
Yes.
there were numbers. Like how many? Not big giant ones. Big enough.
Like the Major. He was the guy. He was the guy.
You got 26
was the
joints,
guy.
you moving the crowd.
I guess.
I mean, that's like if you
people-
from Detroit, that's like Stokes having. Stokes got famous having 2.
Oh no, yeah, Ronnie had
20, but it is
he
New
had-
York. I mean,
he
it's
had a gaggle.
10 times the size of Detroit.
Yeah, Queens alone is 2.3 million
Yeah, 10
people.
times the size.
Yeah, he had a gaggle of them. Yeah, his story. More than his story, right?
And they would sell. Would there be drugs for sale on all of them?
Yes.
That's
they're
what
almost like.
I.
They're almost like a spot. Like
It's a speakeasy.
It's like
It's a speakeasy.
If there's
like
a
a high-end
speakeasy,
spot.
right? It's a speakeasy with us running it.
So it was like
They just don't call
high-end
it
spot.
speakeasy somehow. When we running it, it's after hours. When they run it, it's a
blind
speakeasy.
pig or
It's funny how that works.
Right.
With words.
That's right.
Right. Italian speakeasies, brothers, after hour
After
joints.
hour joints.
Even though it's the same shit.
blind
Yep.
pig they call it in Detroit.
Yeah. Bucket of blood.
So
Bucket of blood.
what were some of the biggest after hours? Or just depended?
Dante's.
Oh, you mentioned it before. Where was that at?
That was on Broadway.
Up this way?
Washington Heights.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Dante's.
might have went in there.
I might have frequented that.
I mean, Oasis was a bar, whatever, but it was at a certain point it was after hours. And realistically,
That was on Broadway too, wasn't it?
Yes.
I have definitely frequented that.
Oasis. Monarch was a bar, but at a certain time, what happens is after a certain time, those places close for regular patrons, and then they become after hours. You know what I mean?
And was this some would be neighborhood people? Were some getting like the downtown cool white people crowd, or just depending on each
Not
one?
back then.
Not back then. Oh no.
White people didn't come above Huntington Street.
Oh, it all like even like the cool.
Maybe after 95.
After 95, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Not many.
Oh,
Not many, but you know.
Escorted by.
Yeah, you got to be.
I mean, there's
you
always
be
gonna
taught
be
about
some
somebody.
few
You
people,
know what I mean?
but
But
not
not many, bro. There was
First,
a time
you wouldn't
they would
even
not
know.
come above
You
Huntington.
wouldn't know if you wasn't escorted.
Right,
How would you even know where to go?
right.
If you
wouldn't
wasn't
even know where it was,
escorted. Yeah, you wouldn't
and
know.
you wasn't getting in.
No, if you list, you
wasn't
weren't
getting
escorted.
in. Motherfucker be standing there with a gram of coke and a quill, talking about we ain't got no cocaine here, man.
That's right.
You must be someplace else.
Yeah. You're in the wrong
We
place.
don't do that around here.
So was powder cocaine was like a big center point of the after hour scene?
Yes. Powder cocaine.
What water is to ice?
Right. Yeah, cocaine was the centerpiece. Powder cocaine was the centerpiece.
Would there be like dancing girls, prostitution, or not really?
I mean, you know, hoes is part of the
might
whole
be
scene.
there, but it wasn't
It could be
like-
the whole scene, but
it
it wasn't. Nah, motherfuckers wasn't
Wasn't a
into having no
brothel.
motherfucker wiggling around
Yeah.
and jiggling around.
Yeah.
All
No,
that.
I mean, but look, okay, so let me say this accurately. There's 4 young ladies sitting at a table, dressed provocatively, maybe.
Yeah.
Between the 4 of them, they got 2 tips. Okay? You just bought 2 8-balls and 4 shots. You ladies mind if I sit down with you and join you? And the rest become what men and women
Get a couple of splits. You know what I
couple
mean?
splits
Get
it.
about four, five.
Piper high to 6?
Yeah.
they
some
upgrade
Piper
from
splits, some Moet splits.
See, there you go.
And you know, you pull that motherfucking bill out. You know how the disco ball, you have the disco ball and the lights hit the disco ball and it's like bling every fucking where. That's how it was with the coke.
You roll up that
So when
$100
you
bill.
roll that $100 bill up, you take that motherfucking joint out, take that thing out, and put it in that bill. Start rubbing against the edge of that bar, break that bitch down.
I like to use the lighter.
Oh, you like to use
myself.
the lighter?
I like the lighter.
Scra-
myself.
Man, motherfuckers be like this.
Grease-
Niggas
grease
be all in
bill
their little
lighter.
congregation, all of a sudden they be like this. They be like, yo, you hear that? Somebody breaking some shit up.
Oh,
Somebody breaking some
radar
shit.
ears.
Yeah, somebody breaking some shit up. So radar ears or Ruben noses. Somebody breaking some shit
It's
up.
some
in this
flake being
motherfucker.
processed.
Oh, it was like
as
you
we speak.
just ordered 10 bottles.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like you just ordered 10 bottles of champagne.
so that was the
The same
the
thing.
status thing.
Yes, that was chic that was prestige.
Now, what years are you talking about?
Through
Through the late 80s or?
early 70s, mid 70s, because a lot of people in the early 70s, unless you was really some fucking body, you ain't had no idea.
Well, what about in
cocaine
your
was.
era? Was that still going on?
Yes.
When did powder cocaine ever really die out? Or?
It did.
It did. Like,
It did. Crack killed powder cocaine.
Yeah, 'cause
because most of the people
gave it a stigma,
that's
too.
right, gave it a stigma. But most of the people who were sniffing, a lot of them, a large majority of them, started smoking.
Unfortunately.
And not everybody went to the pipe.
Nope.
A lot of people were just woolers. They were wooler heads.
51s. That's what they call them in Detroit.
Yeah, they were wooler
I
heads.
smoked 1 or 2 once.
Yeah, I never did.
Twice. Okay, 500 of them. All right, maybe 5,000 of them. I don't know.
I never fucked around, and I think it had a lot to do with when I first started dealing
You know
with
you're
it.
blessed.
I when I got introduced to it, it was 1981, the cooking, right? And I was working in my family's shooting gallery on 15th Street. And the old guy T, who ran it, was a smoker. He told me how to cook. This back when you had the whole pipe, not just a stem, the whole pipe, stack, everything, screens, everything. And there was an art to that, right? And
You were renting them out.
and I was renting them out. So the way that I got introduced to it,
early
I was still sniffing, which was what the elite in my world did.
course
We
did.
sniffed.
Sniffed.
So the way I got introduced to that was these were my heroin customers in my shooting gallery in an abandoned building in Harlem. And they were the ones who partook in this. So in my mind, that's not for me.
Because if they doing it, I ain't going to do it. That's
That
all.
this is doping shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's doping shit y'all doing. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I remember I told this in Raised by
And that's
Wolves.
actually, there was a pecking order. We Wooler people
Right.
looked at the people with that pipe. Fuck
Yeah,
with that,
fuck with that.
fuck that
You
glass.
only
I ain't gonna
smoke
fuck with that
pipe
glass.
with weed,
That's
right?
right. I ain't gonna fuck with that glass dick.
And then
Yeah, fucking with that
yeah, because
glass
that was it was a really
Fucking
heavy
with that,
negative
yeah.
connotation to that, the whole glass dick thing.
Yeah.
And then people who smoked Woolers, people who just sniffed coke, looked at people who smoke Woolers like, yeah, you going
You
too
are a
far.
little bit of-
You going too far. You going too far. You know what I mean? And that's how it was.
And they were right. by
They
the
were
way.
right.
They were very right. By
They
the
were
way.
right.
I smoked my first Wooler May of 1987. By October of 87, I went through 250,000. Eddie Baby, you didn't talk about it. Eddie Baby went through about 250,000. Led me to moving to New York. My parents say you need to get away from here. And the DEA pulled me off the plane.
$250,000 now.
$250,000.
That's back. That was damn
But
near
do
like
the
$1
math.
million
Do the
now.
math. Do the math. $1,500 a day.
Fuck. He
It's
said he would
15
sell somebody some weight in the morning,
Yeah.
powder, and at night he'd buy it back from him dime by dime.
True. This is why you was blessed. Literally, not one time, Cavario. I hit niggas off with ounces. Midnight, once I done got in my madness, I'm buying it back from them in dimes.
That is
Wait a minute, and then you know how niggas are? Hey, Junior, I'm gonna throw you a couple extra.
Thanks.
Like,
that's crazy.
That's-
I've never heard that before.
now I think that one I got a monopoly on.
Yeah, I never heard
And
that.
it's,
shit
unfortunately,
That's wild.
there's
That's wild as
many
fuck.
people to testify like, no, that boy was serving the building at noon, then he be knocking on the door at midnight. So I know both sides. Not only do I know both sides of it, I know both sides of it in a 24-hour period.
That's crazy, bro. That's some crazy shit. I've never heard that.
You want to get some food?
Yes.
Let's
yes,
take
yes,
him for
yes.
some food. But
Bro,
that was
I
great.
never heard of that before.
Be
bro.
careful, guys.
That's the first time
that
I've
shit,
ever
man,
heard of that.
That shit madness. in
That's
itself.
wild, ain't it? I figured
That's
you-
wild
you
as
kicked out of his head.
fuck.
So I was like, bro, I can't call me. You got the key.
Series.
Yes.
You want to see that depicted. That is a rarity. That's something that made people go, whoa, what? Wait a minute, did he, is that the guy that he earlier was, what? They do that? Oh, I never heard of that.
And how much shit that boy daddy had?
Right.
How much shit that boy daddy had?
Like,
Man?
make it make sense.
Make
to me.
that shit make.
Yo, I don't trust this nigga, man. What he doing, man?
No,
Like,
his daddy,
how you doing this, man?
His daddy laying like that, y'all.
How you doing
That's
this?
what niggas was saying.
How you doing this
When
like
they
this?
would say that, they'd be like, nah, nigga, that nigga daddy laying like that.
That's crazy.
From the makers of Motown Mafia, beyond the headlines, beyond the crime, beyond the glamours and gold, they don't run around the streets. They run the streets. Beyond street dreams. Documentary coming soon to Amazon Prime, Tubi, and Pluto TV.